Hello and welcome to Please Don't Send Me into Outer Space, the podcast intent on exploring all that science fiction and fantasy has to offer, one movie at a time. My name is Joel.
My name is Sarah.
My name's Aaron.
The movie this week was The Sword and the Sorcerer from 1982, directed by Albert Puyen. I'm going to start listing the writers because I think that's important too. So the writers were Albert Puyen, John Stuckmeyer, and Tom Karnowski. Starring Lee Horsley as Talon, Kathleen Beller as Alana, Simon McCorkindale as Micah, George Maharis as Machelli, and Richard Lynch as Cromwell. This was Aaron's pick, and my God, it was essentially a random pick. You just picked it based on that picture, right?
Yeah, well, I can't give it total credit to randomness. I was discussing films with my coworker Alex, and he suggested that this is a really awesome sword and sorcery film, even as the title is called. And I kept that in the back of my head for a while. And so when it came up again, I was thinking, well, what would be fun? What random movie? And because I'm sure everyone has a random list of movies in their head they want to see at some point. And I was like, oh yeah, that one, yeah. Also, the picture is really awesome. Agreed.
Yes. It's that art. That's that old style, like I don't know. Even the Star Wars poster with like Luke with his shirt open and Leia like holding onto his leg is similar to that.
Yeah.
This is the greased up, muscly
super
guy with his triple sword, and there's like a sorcerer at the top, and there's a semi-nudish lady. Whatever works. We got a poster that's going to bring the boys to sit in the seats.
That's right. Brings the boys to the yard.
This could have gone terrible. This could have been like a super boring movie. This could have been one of those 80s mistakes where it kind of looks cool and then it's just like bad acting and bad camera work, bad music, bad everything. This was practically a masterpiece it's not a perfect movie.
Well, it exceeded all my expectations.
Yes, it was so enjoyable.
Yeah. I can't even, I didn't really, okay, I tried watching the trailer, but the thing is with how the trailer was set up, it was giving way too much away. So I looked at Campo looked at me, and we're like, no, we gotta stop this. All mysteries are being revealed. We got about halfway through the trailer, and I was like, no!
Yeah.
Close the link, quick! It was awesome. That was just a really awesome experience. Oh my gosh. What'd you think, Sarah?
I thought it was really entertaining. I don't want to be the naysayer.
You don't have
no. It's good. It was a good movie. It was entertaining.
We're overselling it.
I think that it's probably, I don't know. It kind of was like a movie like Krull is or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a fantasy movie, but with that element of, I don't know, just that 70s D&D vibe and the adventure, the band of people. This movie was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, what you mentioned, Sarah, while we were watching the movie, is you kept quoting Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of Indiana Jones in that movie. No lie. There was some
Yeah, spoilers. But there was a scene where somebody ripped a heart out of somebody else after rising from a strange pool. It was very, very much like a scene from Indiana Jones.
You don't know in the very beginning, you don't even know what's going on. It just kind of opens up and like there's
like, where am I?
Yeah, people on a boat rowing to a shore. They enter a cave. There's a weird kind of witch woman doing spells.
No real explanation.
Yeah. Well, there's a voiceover, but it's not telling us what's going on. It just kind of tells you the general state of the kingdom. It's like
it was mood setting.
This guy.
The sentence was mood setting. Like it gave you like in the ancient times of time, ancient things happened and swords were used.
Long before.
And then you see a boat swimming.
Yeah.
Many a sword was fired into the air.
Don't give away the great parts yet. Come on.
Torches were lit and people walked down tunnels.
Yes.
That's kind of what it said, Like, it was very straight to the point.
The rogues. Men were rogues. Women were stereotypical.
Yeah.
The first beginning part with that guy that they're going into this cave. I mean, are we doing a synopsis, like an overview first, or just going right into it?
Let me do a quick little synopsis here. Okay, so the story of this movie is a king, a renegade king of a kingdom has been trying to conquer the land for a long time. That was Cromwell. And he enlists the power of a sorcerer in order to conquer the nearby kingdom, the kingdom of King Richard. With the help of the sorcerer, temporarily, the sorcerer is taken out pretty early because even Cromwell knows this sorcerer is way too powerful. If he gets to full power, if he gets to his final form, then there's no way he's going to let him get away with anything. So, we'll get to that part. Aaron was just miming something. We'll talk about that when we get there. Anyways, he ends up conquering the kingdom, killing all these other members of King Richard's family, with the exception of his one son, Talon, who gets away with the royal sword, which is 3 blades. Kind of an amazing weapon. It seems kind of stupid, and then when he ends up using it, it's like, oh.
When you first look at it, you're like, well, it doesn't look very conventional.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like, yeah.
It's just like...
too ungainly.
Yeah.
Like, this is a thing that's gonna, it's gonna get in the way more than help.
Not very aerodynamic.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture swinging it and stuff. Yeah, it seems kind of awkward.
Yeah. So we flash forward about 10 years. Talon is now the leader of a band of rebels, or not even rebels. It's just a band of men who go around working for, mercenaries. There we go. And in the kingdom where Cromwell rules with an iron fist, there's a rebellion planned. Talon gets in on this plan. There's a princess and a prince, although I'm not exactly sure how they are next in line.
They didn't really get too much into the royal line.
They did explain it, but it didn't keep in my brain what they said. It was like he was like the son of the advisor of the king or something like that.
That's what it was.
It's like, therefore you're next in line. Yeah, sure, whatever. But anyways, chaos ensues. So yeah, wizard, that sorcerer scene, huh? Comes in.
Okay.
It's very atmospheric. How the movie starts. I feel that's very atmospheric. You're getting like this very kind of like something is very unsettled kind of feel. Like
spooky.
Yeah.
You're supposed to get the creeps.
You don't know what's going on. It is so like, what am I watching? This is kind of creeping me out. It's the king, it's Cromwell and the dude go with a lady.
You get the feeling like that they were going there. Just this isn't a casual walk,
right?
This was not like this was. But they had steely resolve. They needed to get a task done.
They knew what they were in pursuit of.
Yeah,
I thought they were looking. I mean, I was like sure there was going to be treasure in the cave or something.
Yeah, that's where I kind of got to.
And then you see the walls are made of like heads.
Yeah, it's like a coffin. It's like a box. It's like the Ark of the Covenant box.
Yeah,
and it's just faces, and faces, and it's creepy looking.
It's a crypt, like you're in the catacombs, but the faces are still kind of there.
Yeah.
It reminded me of something out of like the video game Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Kind of felt
Yeah,
like
the screaming faces of hell in
Yeah.
the walls.
Yeah.
I kept thinking of Berserk. I don't know if you've read any of that manga.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Berserk.
Yeah, it's like super dark and violent, and like there's big monsters, and that's the faces in the wall thing. It makes me think of that, like Egg of the King stuff. But when the witch does some sort of weird incantation, we're not really supposed to understand what she's doing, and the faces open their eyes like all at the same time. It was like, whoa.
Well, they went from like stone to not stone.
Right.
That was, stone to barbecue sauce.
There was like a dust moment where somebody got their faces wet and then threw powdered sugar on it. And then
torches blew out.
Once they pulled the guy up out of the grave.
Out of the gack.
Or whatever the heck it was.
he was gooey.
Yeah.
There was some tomato sauce involved for sure.
They were raising the dead. And
he was like, "Who so disturbs my slumber?" Or something like that.
Yeah, the voice kept reminding me of something. The voice of that guy kept reminding me of like another movie or another voice that I hear in something else, and it was like kind of comical.
Not the Beast and Kroll?
No.
No, it wasn't very similar to the Beast and Kroll, because it was deeper.
Yeah.
Much deeper.
But it seemed like that guy could have said like,
"Oh yeah, they're probably buddies.
I'm gonna get a sandwich." Like that voice of that guy.
Totally.
It was
Which
so
one?
Silly. The sorcerer guy, the bad guy.
Please thou wake me up.
This is kind of something I have a problem with in movies. They automatically make bad guys look really gross. And they're like this ugly, gross monster creature. And they're like, this guy's definitely bad. And does he kill somebody right then? Is that what happens?
Well, the guy's like, "How do we know you've got the power to help the king?" And he's like, "Let me show you on this lady." She's like, "No, no." And then she gets thrown back style, and then all of a sudden, whoop, there's suddenly a heart in his hand.
Yeah, that's when he ripped it.
He ripped the heart out.
It's not just like a little heart either.
Trick.
It's like a big old noodly heart. Like he ripped out a bunch of the flesh
out,
around
the arteries.
it.
And
Somebody went to the butcher shop for that.
Yeah, it was intense.
That was proof enough, I guess.
And then I kind of felt bad for that guy.
Which one?
The one that was a bad sorcerer was woken from the dead. Like, okay, that scene where the faces get all scary for a second.
Sure.
Then it's like immediately cut to that other part, right?
Yes.
That was one of the funniest things in this movie. How fast everything just went like, here we are, and then after a while, this happened.
I appreciated the brevity of those scenes where we didn't have to see like 6 battle scenes over again.
There were no montages of people hitting people.
We didn't have to see Colwyn climbing up a cliffside or horses.
Maybe that was all edited out.
I guess you're right. You didn't have to be spoon fed.
Yeah,
like a lot of this stuff that nowadays is so common in a lot of films, that the constant narrative of like, this is then this happened and then this happened and then you see it occurring or whatever.
Yeah,
it was pretty. But it was almost kind of jarring.
Yeah,
it was a little jarring, but
humorous in some places too. Yeah.
Those parts were deadly. I mean, they were supposed to be deadly serious in the beginning. Eventually, it gets really, really silly.
Eventually.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm talking about on purpose.
How refreshing too, though. At the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I really appreciated the movie not taking itself so seriously. It's like, we're going to have some fun adventure time after this point. And, it's not like the seriousness of the beginning part bothered me that much, because at that point I was still expecting the movie to be really bad.
Yeah.
Especially after when they dispatched the sorcerer, which...
Yeah. So initially he's killing people so that he can take over kingdoms and stuff, and then there's this scene where he brings the sorcerer down the hill and he's like tired.
I was taking a nap.
I'm tired. And he's like, okay, well then you must go to sleep. And
forever.
It's really stupid because this guy I mean, is he supposed to be like Vlad the Impaler or something? Like, why did they raise this guy to be a warrior in their army?
It's like in a video game when you can't beat a level, so you like pay 100 credits to get a boost, or you like use the infinite P on Super Mario 3.
100 boosts.
Except for you don't need it anymore. It's like, this is what it's like. You're in the water level in Super Mario 3, and you use the frog suit. Obviously, you don't want the frog suit afterwards, so as soon as you get to the next level, if you've still got the frog suit, you run into something because it's useless outside the water. Right?
That's a good analogy.
So you stab the frog suit and it runs off a cliff.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we should say that that's what it is. Should we?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so he stabs him and then throws him off a cliff.
I think he throws him. He just kind of runs off on his own.
Because the guy
he like stabs him, then he just and then the cutoff is just him going like pushing it, or at least you see
because on the cliff part, the king is like trying to stab him again.
Oh,
and
so he
like,
leans back.
Yeah.
And if you want to see footage of the falling off the cliff, just go to our Facebook page. Sarah was nice enough to put a quick one on there.
We lost our when this happened because this is one of my favorite things when they have a stuntman fall off something and move their arm and legs. Like really move. Like if I fell off something, I'm sure I would not do that. I'm sure I wouldn't.
There has got to be a safety reason that stuntmen rotate their arms or their legs. They do the pedaling motion because everyone does it and it's not realistic.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I always thought that it was for effect because you don't see it that much anymore. And back then it was like, no, you really want to see you acting.
I feel like I still see it. I can't remember the last time I saw people like falling. So.
Like every movie with a superhero in it.
Yeah, but now they use quick cuts, so you see like them like initially fall and then you see them hit. Like it's all from far away. Like I think it's more of a practice to use like a CGI model than to use a stuntman, right?
I'm gonna have to say that the art of the faraway shot and seeing a guy falling and swinging his limbs is definitely a dying art. It's definitely like the only times in like superhero movies nowadays whenever you see him fall, like Spider-Man grabs him right away,
right?
And
that's definitely CGI.
Or like Captain America jumps out of a car or something. I don't know.
I love seeing a car go off a cliff and explode too. That's just very
I'm down
80s.
With that too.
It's like, and the reason this made me so happy is because there was an episode of Conan O'Brien a long time ago where he did this thing where he would say, movies ended a different way than I expected them to. And they'd show a clip of a movie and then they'd splice it together with something else completely unrelated. And just to be like random and funny. And in this clip, he shows Harry Potter in the middle of a circle of fire in the countryside of the Weasleys. And he runs to like get through it and it like splices with this stunt man on fire falling off a cliff, moving his arms and legs and
then it rolls the credits.
Yeah, immediately afterwards. And it was so funny, and I haven't been able to find that clip anywhere, but it made me laugh so hard when I saw that. And ever since then, I think me and Joel have both been talking about the stuntmen that are on fire that are doing weird things and the ones that fall off cliffs like that.
I try to become connoisseurs about certain things like that, or when they use the screaming,
it's just
Wilhelm scream? Or?
No, not the Wilhelm. It's a different one. It's the one that that one. They use it in StarCraft. Yeah.
They use it in Little Monsters, right?
They use it we saw a montage of clips, and like we were watching, what was it, Prison Break? They were like a torture scene in Prison Break, and all of a sudden the guy like leans his head back, and it's that generic.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, it's like a sound that they use.
actually get really excied whenever I hear that, too.
No.
It's fun. It's so much fun.
I think it's fun just because of how unrealistic it is. But yeah, this was a sorcerer falling off a cliff, moving his arms and legs in circles, trying to grasp at something.
At this point, we could basically count the sorcerer out.
Yeah.
Because it's like, as far as we know, this guy did actually just kill the sorcerer, so what's going on? I mean, I think we thought he'd probably be back in some form, right?
I mean, if you follow the philosophy of if you don't see the body, then, he might come back. If you follow that line of philosophy, then...
I didn't see the body of King Richard.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, the
He's coming
sequel,
back.
starring Kevin Sorbo.
There you go.
Let's see, I've got Gooey Wizard falls off a cliff, and, the sword, yes. So, this sword, this three-bladed sword, and you should look it up online to see what this talking about, or what we're talking about, because it's like literally three broadswords all side by side in, like
a fork.
Like Wolverine formation.
They're all perpendicular with each other. Yes, Wolverine formation. There you go. Not flat-wise. Like, they're all... I don't even know how you would describe that.
They're like stacked.
Well,
yes.
I think perpendicular was the best way to put it.
Right.
Because they weren't horizontal. They
Right.
were all lined up within formation like like a gardening tool.
Yes. Wolverine stacked. Yeah, that kind of,
A fork that all the prongs on had, like, blades instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or like a... whatever.
Well, I think of a
Trident.
fork as being the flat side.
Yeah.
That way. So
maybe I was wrong with the garden tool.
Anyways, it's a cumbersome looking thing.
Yeah, it didn't look very. I mean, it definitely got like a lot of points for like originality when you first see it, but you're kind of like, well, I don't really see this being formable at all.
Yeah, who's going to be using this?
Yeah,
it looked more difficult to use than the glaive.
Yeah.
As far as fantasy weapons are concerned, yeah, totally.
Way more satisfying when it actually does turn out to be used than the glaive, in my opinion. Like, there was no, hey, this is super special. Okay, don't use it till the end of the movie. Like, we get to see it pretty much right away. Although there was a big chunk of the movie where it's not being used, but just, it's so satisfying. And, I mean, I feel kind of bad revealing this. How do you guys feel? People should watch this movie, right?
I think, it doesn't harm the film at all if you talk about it.
Okay.
Because, in my opinion, it just makes you really want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Like, this is a sword with 3 blades, Joel.
Yeah.
This is exactly why you want to see the movie.
So, before King Richard goes to war, he hands the blade to his youngest son, Talon. Or it's not his youngest son. He has another son too, but whatever.
Yeah.
They get like slaughtered at some point. And you know what? They don't get slaughtered. That isn't his son. Anyways, I just had remembered something. We see young Talon riding a horse trying to save his mother, and he gets knocked over by a knight with a mace on the end of a chain. And he's holding the 3-bladed sword when he gets knocked off. He's just lying on the ground, there's no way he's going to be able to swing the thing. And then all of a sudden, he fires one of the 3 blades off of the other one, and it totally impales this guy in the back of the head.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
It's like a crossbow with swords that shoot instead of arrows.
Just boom. And then he hits another guy.
No holds barred. This is like, the fight scenes in this are insane.
It's definitely one of those you just, like, we could talk about that till we're blue in the face. You just really need to see it. This is something that just needs to be experienced.
So
impossible to describe.
Yeah.
But the blade flies off and like full penetration. Like, we're not talking like a little bit. It flies right through you. Like, you're like, oh!
Because we kind of see the guy react, and we're like, oh, he must have got hit by something. And then he turns around, and the full blade is just sticking out of the back of his head.
Yeah, it's just... whatever it's powered by, whatever magic or
it's like they lit a rocket behind it. I don't know.
Yeah, for all we know, it is a magic blade. I mean, he's some later...
The anime gunblade has nothing on this, man.
Oh, totally. Totally not.
So he killed that guy after the sorcerer, right?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, the mom and everybody got killed. Okay.
Yeah, the sorcerer died first, yeah.
And then...
He killed them after they started celebrating 20 years of peace. The 20th
Ironically, it was on the 20th anniversary of peace.
Well, actually, I believe that there was a kind of an explanation in between.
Yeah.
In between that, it wasn't actually on the anniversary of 20 years of peace. It was because then after that montage, or not montage, excuse me, totally inaccurate. After that section of the film where they were like, oh, everything is great. Then they had another paragraph was read or whatever by the narrator that said that and then they fought each other. And then so you're kind of getting into the part where Colworth...
But he didn't know that
Cromwell
was already on his way with a bunch of machine guns.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah, that narration drops off after that point, basically. After we see poor little Talon's family get murdered. And then we jump forward, like a decade. And...
How old do you think he was in that first part?
He looked to be a teenager to me, I'd say.
13, 14.
Yeah, 13, 14.
That's what I thought. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah.
Maybe 15.
And he's been working out this entire decade while, he was trying to hide from everybody.
I'm sure things were rough.
Eating lots of protein, lifting, hanging out with his bros. Whoring and drinking. That's what Talon likes. That's the first thing we know about him. What do you think about this guy? Is he good looking? Or is he great looking?
I understood that I was supposed to think he was great looking.
He had like spray on like stubble going on.
I thought his face was just naturally that dark. I don't know.
Maybe.
He looked like one of the Bee Gees.
The sexiest Bee Gee.
The Bee Gee with the beard. The one with the fluffy hair. And
that is the least sexy Bee Gee. The one with the beard.
I mean, do they all have beards?
No, I think two of them have beards.
The main one. I don't know what his name is.
I think only the one, Barry. That Barry Gibbs?
Barry Gibbs?
I don't know.
He definitely looks like one of the Bee Gees if someone threw wolf skins on his back. Gave him an iron metal gauntlet.
I don't know if he was super tall, but he certainly came off as an imposing figure with all that stuff he was wearing.
Yeah.
But he didn't look that later when he's practically naked. He didn't look nearly as I'm super cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. They dressed him up real cool.
He definitely had a bit of a swagger about him, though.
Yeah.
Like a Captain Jack kind of vibe a little bit.
Well, he does things. He does these roguish things where it's just you bastard.
He's so full of himself.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
So egotistical.
Totally.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So, what happens is they start talking about the rebellion or whatever. And is that when the guy who's next in line finds his sister? Or does something else happen?
Well, his sister's hidden on purpose. He is also pretending to be just somebody a regular else. Joe, and he goes and meets somebody about the rebellion at the bar. And when he leaves the bar, he gets confronted by somebody we've already seen that was the king's assistant. Somebody with mascara on. At least he looked like he did to me.
Yeah. Guy liner, for sure.
The dream catchers on his chest.
Yeah. Someone drew under his eyes.
That guy did a lot of slow-moving face expressions smile,
crafty.
Or how dare you, or
instead of immediately reacting to something, he just turned his head
That's that one scene in the war room where
was his reaction.
Where the guy insults him and it's 15 seconds of slowly lifting his head to look at the guy.
Yeah.
You, sir.
That was the school of acting.
Master.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the kingdom is ruled, like I said, Iron Fist by Cromwell. And he isn't a very happy man.
He looks weary. You get the feeling that the war has definitely paid a toll on him.
So when we first see him, he's like standing in that what do you call those like stands that are in the middle of like a field where like a band might play or gazebo. Yeah, he's like in a gazebo. And that weird assistant guy kind of slowly sneaks up on him.
Oh yeah.
It's like, is he gonna scare him?
That was pretty uncomfortable. I felt because it was I don't even know if Cromwell like knew he was there. He was just kind of like coming up from behind,
floating.
And it's like
very slowly.
What are you doing, dude? You're gonna get punched.
Couple of weary looking guys. What'd you think of Cromwell as an actor?
I got the feeling that he was definitely power hungry. He gave that off really well at first. That he was definitely willing to make some dirty deals to get what he wanted. And his acting definitely portrayed that really well. That he was the guy who was willing to do anything to get the power.
I kind of think the acting in this movie all around is like
exceptional.
Hey, you did really good jobs, guys.
Yeah,
with this material.
Oh yeah. It was believable.
It seems like they had money.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that, because it feels like if they had money, that we would have heard about it.
Yeah, so
it wasn't really, really terrible. I mean, I don't know how to explain this. Fantasy movies, I don't know what everybody's like top pick for fantasy movies are, but I would say that this is definitely not in the bottom of fantasy movies I've seen.
Totally. There's quality to this film.
So why hasn't anybody ever heard of it? If there was money behind it and the acting was good and it was entertaining.
Says it made $39 million at the box office too. It couldn't have cost that much.
Back then,
who knows?
It was successful.
Yeah.
But nobody I knew went to see it, I guess, that thought I should see it.
I seriously had never heard anyone talk about it.
Yeah. This is definitely one that I mean, I know you guys probably hang out with nerds, but I hang out with a lot of nerds too.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I mentioned in passing that we were going to watch this movie, and a couple guys were like, oh yeah. That was it. Like, there was no, like...
It's like the story... The story you told about Dark Star, your parents. Oh, yeah, we've seen that movie. Like, how come nobody told me?
Yeah!
Like, okay, see, this should be the message of this podcast. One of the central messages is go out and tell somebody when you see something really cool.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of what they're going to think about you. Don't be ashamed. If they're not going to like it, they're not going to like it. But there's a chance they might love it, and you guys will have this essential connection like, oh, dude, Kroll? Oh, dude, Sword and the Sorcerer? Oh, dude, Labyrinth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why aren't you watching it? You know?
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
Good message, Joel. So yeah, I'm thankful that Alex did mention this in passing.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. I don't even know you, but I appreciate that you tell Aaron about some more good stuff. None of the bad stuff. Good stuff only. Okay, let's see. What else? So when we're introduced to Talon again, he's got like a posse.
Yeah, no, he's got a crew.
He's got a
full crew.
He's like a pimp. He has like a big coat on and like a swagger to his step, and he's got all these people behind him.
He's got the smirk,
and the ladies are all, crowding around. It's just like something out of a movie. It is. It's like I don't even know how to explain his presence in this movie.
You could smell his aftershave coming off the screen.
Women want him and men want to be him.
Yeah.
Totally. 100%.
He had like sunglasses on.
What he ends up doing at one point is the equivalent of like putting sunglasses on, in my opinion.
I think I know what you're
You could just talk about that.
Yeah.
Just talk about that scene.
Okay, so the heir to the throne finds a sister, And right then, when they happened to meet each other, there comes the king.
Royal Guard.
Yeah, the Royal Guard. And they take him and arrest him, and they say they're going to kill him, and they take the sister. Is this before that time, or is it when that's happening?
That is when they take off the prince, and then those guys take off the princess, and they're going to do bad things to her.
Yeah, this is okay. This is a very sexist movie.
Totally.
Big time.
Totally. Oh, yeah.
Women are only there to be property to a man in this movie.
Yeah.
Seriously, their only value is to belong to somebody else.
And when it comes to a strong woman, the only one that shows any sort of resistance seems that she has to use her sexuality in order to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
good point. Definitely.
I mean, it's a very entertaining movie.
Yes, nonetheless.
And I'm sure it's supposed to be reminiscent of a time when things were really like this or whatever.
Conan.
But, she's being taken away by these guards, and they start making these sexual innuendos towards her about their sword, and they're basically getting ready to, like, rape her. And
they're totally getting ready to rape.
Yeah, they're like crowded around her. I was like, how long is this going to go on for? Are we about to see a serious rape in this movie?
Yeah,
It was edging on to that point where it was like,
things are
going to get really bad. And I was starting to get a little uneasy as well.
Yeah, I was too.
I was like, oh, I get it. Something bad might happen, and then I was like, oh my god, something bad is going to happen.
Yeah. And then here shows up, what's his name? Talon. He shows up.
He is just there.
It's comedy. He shows up and he's eating a giant leg of like a lamb or something.
Just a giant hawk of meat.
It's like, imagine somebody walking into a room eating a giant turkey leg. Unexplained.
Imagine who's a super cool person. Imagine
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Imagine Brad Pitt suddenly appearing at your front door, being like, "Hey guys, what's up?" and then taking a bite out of a huge
giant leg. This leg is bigger than a turkey leg.
No, yeah,
it's like a leg of lamb or something.
It's like a lamb. Yeah.
And he is like, like, I know it's comical, but it's also like, that's pretty cool what you just did.
This is the strangest series of moments that happen here. This girl is like, you know, being taken away by these guards, then almost being raped to the point of we're all like, oh,
yeah,
this is about to get really bad.
The intensity was real.
And then, just like that, turn around, and here's this guy eating a giant leg of lamb comically against the wall.
And being like,
leaning
hey, guard
like
dude,
a badass.
You got a tiny penis.
Formidable weapon.
Yeah. Then he starts insulting the guy.
A beautiful scene.
Yeah.
And of course he saves her.
I mean, I can't compare that, seeing that, to anything else I've ever seen.
There's nothing quite like that scene. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just in case you forgot, this is our hero. And he's a man. Wearing his fur, chewing on the meat, and having that smirk.
Yeah, he's a smirky kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's really kind of a cad.
Like, hello, lady.
Anyway, after that, he kills the bad guys, or one of them runs away or something. I can't remember exactly how it happens.
He kills them, and one of them, like, kills himself, like, because he's so freaked out or something. He knocks
really
himself
scared.
out.
Oh yeah, he ran straight at the wall.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was.
Yeah, we're all building up to the princess hires Talon to save her brother.
Yeah, she hires him.
Says, oh, he's going to be the prince. And Talon's like, well, actually, if you knew who I was. Now, he doesn't say that, but it's like, I'll give you 300 smirkers, whatever
they're going back and forth. So, yeah, they're going back and forth.
There's a negotiation, but
she's
obviously,
asking if his sword is for hire.
Right. And he's like, Only if I wrap it in a condom first. No,
yeah, the innuendo is pretty hardcore in that scene.
He's not even innuendo. He's just like, if you let me sleep with you, I'll rescue your brother. Where is he? Oh, the king's got him. Wow, I don't know if you're worth that much, baby.
And she said she's trying to be diplomatic and trying to get her brother rescued, and she knows that a lot is on the line. And basically, in a matter of seconds, she goes from saying, I'll pay you as much money as I have, to, you can have me for a night and do whatever you want with me. It's like, from 1 second goes, like, money to, like, prostitution. Or, like, having to...
She decides that guy's her only hope.
She's attracted to him, too. I mean, I'm not saying that they aren't attracted to each other, but it's just lame that it kind of had to go there that fast.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, for the plot, it was necessary that there was some exchange.
He seems like a total scoundrel when that happens.
Yeah, and it's irritating because it's like he saved her from being
raped.
Something really horrible like that happening to her, to then basically suggesting that, well, you're pretty much going to have to...
You're going to have to give it up to somebody. Yeah, to get what you...
Yeah, that seems to be at least the...
Right.
So, like, you, the viewer, are just kind of like, well, shit.
That sucks.
It's gonna be me.
So,
I mean, she gets captured anyways, which is funny. Like, right after the meeting, it's not like she's going to be around to assist. But... from that point on, it's all let's rescue the prince.
Because he wants a night in bed with this lady.
It kind of, like, becomes a series of, like, hilarious follies at that point.
For a minute, yeah. For
a minute. I mean, it's like...
for a stretch of time.
Especially that part.
Where Talon gets into the castle.
But, there's something charming about that, though, Joel. No. Like most films, I feel nowadays, everything is so choreographed to the point where it's like, even in a moment of, like, emergency, the hero knows exactly what to do. You know what I mean?
Right. And he gets away, he escapes, or he's able to
you don't see anyone
shoot
falter,
his way out, or something like or he gets even, like, he gets taken out, like, he thinks he's escaped and he gets taken out real fast.
Yeah.
It's like, this was more like a swashbuckling, like, like, almost, I want to say something like a Scooby-Doo chase, except for it was better, way better than that.
Yeah.
Because he kept that, like I said it exactly when it happened. That scene where Han Solo is running after the stormtrooper, and he's like, and in the first Star Wars movie, shoots the one guy and then realizes a whole bunch of stormtroopers right around the corner and, like, runs the opposite direction. That just keeps on happening for about, like, a 7-minute stretch.
Yeah.
But it's so good, because he's like, He's hopping over the walls. He hides around a corner. Every time he thinks he's escaped, he goes around another corner and there's a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
He's like truly like a fly by the seat of your pants kind of hero. Like, there's no long-term plan at all.
No.
Like, this is just... he's just like, I'll figure it out when I get there. Kind of a guy.
Yippee-ki-yay. That kind of thing.
Yeah, he just doesn't... Yeah, he's just going to take what he can.
Yeah.
Breaks into the castle... Killer rats at one point for some reason. Adorable killer rats.
That's the second time where he uses gasoline and fire to, like, fight a foe.
Yeah.
Like,
I forgot about that.
I did too, till right now. Yeah.
Lights those guys on fire. That part's funny too, because he's just like,
just watching these stuntmen on fire moving around.
Oh man!
And all those rebels, they're all dressed as, like, peasants. They've got, like, wooden pitchforks and stuff like that as their tools. And this is another. His posses are other sources of comedy, because they've got these rebels who are all amateurs. They end up getting caught, and he ends up freeing them and saying, like, maybe I should just leave you in here for punishment. It's funny because we don't see them get caught. Oh, no, we do, because that guard shows up.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, be careful, you might alert the guards. Oh, they're not around here. Right behind you, or something like that, basically.
Pretty much.
He's like Mad Max, and they're like the people who want a life beyond the Thunderdome.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yes. You will save us. We don't need another hero.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
It was really funny, though, in some parts. Like, there's a moment where they're going to do an attack, and they're talking about how great they're going to do, and it cuts to them immediately in jail.
So good!
Yeah.
So good!
That part.
That is the weird scene, too.
That when they're discussing, we gotta go, he was gonna go do that thing. We don't know what happened to him. Oh, he got caught and was put into the prison. Because during the whole running around scene, Talon does a bunch of swashbuckling stuff, and for some reason he breaks through a window and ends up in a brothel, so we get a bunch of boobs. It's an 80s movie.
Yeah, thumbs up. Thumbs up. That was great, man.
Just a bunch of naked ladies, just because. And then you get to see
It was very exploitive, but
the princess lady getting a massage.
Well, yeah, that's so funny because he gets out of there and he's like, well, I wish I could stay, and then he immediately runs out. And for some reason, the kidnapped princess is being massaged
with
naked.
oil. Yeah.
Because this person's slowly running down her back, and there's her bare butt.
Yeah.
And Talon runs in the room, and he's like, oh.
2 thumbs up, man. 2 thumbs up.
He does the anime, oh. And he gets knocked out a window, right?
Yep, gets knocked out a window. And then single-handedly takes out a ton of guards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a single weapon. And then he takes a weapon and takes out more guards.
Yes.
It's so
he gets into wrestling move stuff here.
Yeah.
Like real legit wrestling stuff.
That was so good.
Yeah, he gets down.
God, I just if you're listening to this, just watch it. It's amazing.
Just watch it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's
and the hair stays the same the whole time.
Oh, absolutely.
Hairspray.
He's very comfortably coiffed.
So yeah, they've told the princess that she has to marry the evil guy who's the king right now, whether she wants to or not. That's another time somebody's telling her that she's gonna have to sleep with them, like it or not. And then
the king plants a big one on her, and then later he plants a big one on another lady.
Oh yeah, the lady in the torture chamber.
His bond servant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then he gets caught.
He gets caught, and then we go to a scene.
Oh, really, Tiger?
Excuse me? We go to a scene where it's like the only recognizable member of his posse is like, I don't know where he went, he didn't say where he was going to go, and he's like on top of a woman, and he's talking to somebody.
Yeah.
There's just a woman underneath him. And then we see a curtain open up, and there's this black gentleman there who has not been there before. He's like, "Oh, you didn't hear? He got caught, Oh, here, I have to go rescue him." And he's also on top of somebody. And then another curtain opens up. Is like, "Wait, what are you guys talking about? You're going to rescue somebody?"
Like at a brothel or something.
Seriously,
I don't know.
It's so funny.
House of ill repute.
It is so funny.
Yeah.
Well, the exchange is just so priceless because these ladies just don't understand what's going on. They're just doing their job, and then these guys are just,
Yeah. They're in the middle.
Their interest is otherwise.
Middle of nailing somebody.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, we should probably rescue him when we're done.
So that they agree to work together to try to save Talon.
And that's when
Wait, when does he stop torturing the brother and start torturing the other guy? Because first they string up the brother, and then later on there's the crucifixion of the...
Well, that's after he plants a big one on the blonde girl. And that happens because he runs all the way down there to rescue her, right? He gets to the point where he actually, frees the prince from his bonds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then he ends up getting caught.
Yeah.
And later we see the prince, he looks like he's getting massaged, but I think he's supposed to be, stitched up or whatever, because he's been whipped on the back and stuff like that. But they all end up in, they're all having this discussion, yeah, we're super tough warriors, and this black guy is super built, he is cut.
Totally.
He could kick some butt if he wanted to. But after that, we immediately get flashed to them being all locked up.
Mm-hmm. That was Captain Morgan.
Yes.
Totally Captain Morgan.
This character's name is literally Captain Morgan.
Mm-hmm. Pirates joining with land pirates.
Land pirates.
Whatever they
Desert
are.
pirates.
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, there's some funny parts in the jail, but there's also like a gross part where
there's like a crazy moment there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to say that it was definitely kind of gross, but very like that was definitely like a trick that the movie played on you. Because like you go from the scene where like all these guys in this brothel and it's like very silly and like they're just like, yeah, sure, we'll go save Talon. To the next scene, we got captured. And so you, the viewer, you're just kind of like laughing because you're like, "Oh man, that was hilarious!" So I wonder what happened.
Each other.
And then it just turns like totally dark and like disturbing. Very disturbing. Yeah.
The guy's like, "What are you guys doing down here? What does Captain Morgan say to that guy?"
Oh, he says the Facebook thing is what's on your mind.
What's on your mind? Yeah.
Leans his head out the bars. What's up, buddy?
What's on your mind?
How's it going?
Oh my god.
Just
and
here.
this woman has been just like an object to, she's been in like a bikini before this. Like Princess Leia.
She betrayed the king.
That's right. I'm a little confused though as to what the purpose of the torture was for. Like, because it was obviously we're looking for information.
Yeah, they were trying to get information.
But I forget what the purpose of it was. Like, they just weren't torturing him just for fun. Yeah. They wanted something.
Prince?
They wanted to know where the prince was?
No, you're talking about when they were torturing the prince?
No. That specific scene that turned
the reason why they cut out that lady's tongue is because she betrayed the king. That's all. The torturing the prince part did have a specific reason, though.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Because we were revealed earlier in the movie that the king's aide went to go see the sorcerer. The sorcerer was still alive, and he'd been like rebuilding himself for the last decade, planning his revenge.
Okay.
And the king
I've been climbing up that mountain for the last
decade. He was going to find his own grave. The king was torturing the prince originally, trying to get him to tell him if he had been advised by some secret person. Oh. So, like you may not realize that he's the sorcerer, but he may look just like a normal man, but he has something about him. You must tell me if this person has been communicating with you. And the prince is like, you are crazy. So the king is like super paranoid about it. Okay. And when he fights Talon, I keep wanting to call him Colwyn. He's cooler than Colwyn.
You've been tainted by the Kroll.
I'm sorry, Kroll lovers. Talon is cooler than Colwyn.
Well, I mean, if you're going to compare contrast real quick, I feel that like Colwyn is to Luke Skywalker as Talon is to Han Solo.
Totally.
In my opinion.
Yes. They'd be on the same planet.
Yeah. You never know.
The planet of Kral.
There was a little bit of a Ted Neely Jesus Christ Superstar thing going on, too, with this guy. By the way, he's a really nice person, Ted Neely. From Jesus Christ Superstar.
You met Ted Neely?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I actually feel like I kind of know him a little bit. He's really nice.
Star of Django Unchained, Ted Neely.
He's in Django for a second.
Yep. So is this horsey guy. Horsley? Whatever his name is. Talon. What was I going to say? I was going to say, when Cromwell is fighting Talon initially, he's like, are you him?
Yeah.
Are you the sorcerer? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's like he's so paranoid. Anyone who comes to attack him, he assumes it's the sorcerer. Eventually, he gets taken out, and we kind of predicted who the sorcerer was going to be. I mean, Aaron, I think, was calling it out. Like, as soon as he saw him, he's like, that guy's too sexy not to be a sorcerer.
It was just kind of his mannerisms. Or it wasn't that I directly thought he was a sorcerer at first, but he definitely had, like, I'm going to backstab you.
Something's up, yeah.
I'm going to get you. Kind of, like, that power-hungry look in his eye. Mm-hmm. Like, the actor totally got that down, like, really well. Like, there was definitely, like, ulterior motives to being the king's buddy.
A little worm tongue.
Yeah, some total worm tongue action going on there.
At first, I thought that the sorcerer was going to be this blonde woman who ends up having her tongue cut out.
I still think that was a good guess as well, though.
Yeah, we don't know what her motive is until even later. It makes sense that she could have been the sorcerer, because she is, like, close to the king, apparently, like his favorite consort or something like that, but then we see her trying to free the prince, so what's going on?
And she, like, immediately kisses the other guy, too.
Which other guy?
Talon.
Well, he's super sexy, I mean. Any woman who's in his presence is like,
immediately gonna kiss him.
Give me those smoochers.
Talon. Damn right.
Yeah.
What the heck?
So, if you captured a renegade mercenary who attacked your kingdom for absolutely no reason, what would you do with him? I mean, how would you make an example?
Well, I'd probably crucify him.
Crucify him.
Well, yeah, crucifixion, that's normal.
It almost feels like something straight out of a Conan comic.
Yeah, for sure.
That did happen to Conan, so.
Of course. If you're a super buff dude, you gotta be crucified at some point. I think that's in the law book. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Wolverine.
Yeah.
Everybody gets crucified.
Not everybody gets to get crucified in front of a wedding buffet.
That's right. The king has an evil plan, which if any other person had done this, I think they would have known that it was probably going to end up in an assassination attempt where he's going to wed this princess woman, and he's invited all the other kings of the nearby kingdoms, and he's going to have them killed. It's like, well, wouldn't you suspect that immediately? Oh, I got an invitation to the guy who's tried to conquer us a bunch of times. Maybe he wants peace. But when they see, a couple of the kings, when they see that Talon is just posted up right in front of the right in front of the banquet, crucified onto this cross, looking very Christ-like, even though your metaphor ain't working.
Yeah. These guys are like, don't we know him?
Yeah. to the kings. Yeah.
And they say he's like he helped us win our kingdoms. Like, I don't know if it's cool that they ended up having that loyalty for them. Especially, I like how they ended up fighting with him in the end.
You got the feeling when they first showed up. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
but the feeling was that they were first like they wanted to do something immediately.
Yeah,
but they were like, well, let's wait for the right time.
Let's bide our time.
Yeah,
and when that's going on, what happens? So there's like these serving ladies that are from...
Yeah, he's got his ladies, his wenches, whatever.
The king's brothel.
Yeah.
And they end up freeing all the prisoners. All the...
Are you the ones who stand with the man with the iron gauntlet, or the steel gauntlet?
Yeah, I didn't notice the gauntlet, even after you, pointed it out to me.
Well, it definitely showed up after the lady said that.
Okay.
Because there was a scene where all the gear was being passed out to everyone.
Yeah.
And then as soon as Talon was freed, it just materialized on his hand.
Oh, that's good.
So, but before that though,
yeah.
I mean, he had so much going on.
He had a cape over his hand most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's a wedding ceremony. He's trying to marry her real quick before anybody can stop it from happening.
That priest was weird.
It just felt like they'd take him from the Vatican or something, he just straight came out of reality, and just showed up in this fantasy world,
It's like he was the understudy that didn't really know what period or anything this was supposed to be set in.
Hello? You need somebody to read Latin? Okay. I can help you, I guess.
But it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Came out of nowhere.
We end up in a big battle. During the wedding ceremony, the posse shows up and they take out a bunch of the guards.
Yeah.
They stop the assassination of the other kings. Talon, in a brutal act of strength, pulls one of the nails out of his own hand Because he's Hercules or something. He's got the strength of 3 men. And then, fights, lots of fights.
He gets down.
Oh, he gets down. He's like, boom, gotta take you out. Gets his 3 sword thing back, right?
Yeah. His number one, I don't know.
His number one dime.
Stoogie dude. I don't know. The bald guy. The bald guy kind of had the Tarantino chin a little bit.
Yeah, curly hair.
Kind of like the. He kind of had that feel that he was like, oh great, he's in trouble again. Eye roll. All right, I'll save him because he's my friend and he saved me every time.
I like that guy because when he's introduced, he has to say something, and you could tell by the way he says it that he's like, this is really ridiculous.
Yeah, like, I'm in this movie.
King Lambosha is waiting for us at Maladon. Ugh.
He doesn't say it's like almost like a Squidward kind of feel about it.
Thou canst not do that, sire. He was totally Squidward. Maladon. Yeah. This is the banquet fighting scene is actually kind of it's fun because everybody's getting into it, even those kings that decide to help Talon.
Yeah.
And there's a montage of Talon just flipping guys over and tossing them, and he's like not using his sword. He's just like doing all these like suplex, like lifting moves on his thing, like
throwing them to the side, and
like 1 or 2, sure, but this was like 10.
For some reason, I'm like in my memory, like I've put like a Jean-Claude Van Damme like splits thing in there too, like
totally.
Kicks or something.
Yeah,
he's throwing people in the air. Yeah,
he is the fighter supreme, and no one can stop him. No one should try to stop him. He's
kicking ass.
So the wedding's broken up, and the king is running off with his bride and his lieutenant, Guyliner.
Mm-hmm.
Lieutenant Guyliner.
And at some point, Guyliner runs off with the princess.
Mm-hmm. Well, when Talon directly intercepts Cromwell, that's when the advisor and the princess beeline it away to the caves, basically.
Right, because the princess is still under the impression that Guyliner, I should say whatever his character's name is, Machelli, is on their side because he was communicating with the prince beforehand. He doesn't know that the prince was betrayed by him initially. Yeah. So Machelli takes her down to
a cave,
a dungeon or something like that. For some reason, there's iguanas down there.
Well, that's where they're from, right, Joel?
Yeah, the old swampy, wet iguana cave.
Native to their lands.
Yeah,
absolutely. Iguanas, boa constrictors, rats.
Yep.
Asian ladies—they all live in a cave together.
Yeah, what happened to the Asian lady? Like, she's in one scene? That's it? That's all you get?
I don't even remember her.
She was, when we first saw that the sorcerer was still alive, she was like...
She was chilling with him.
Next to him.
Yeah, she was scantily clad.
She was the evil Lynn to his Skeletor.
Exactly. Except for she didn't say anything.
Oh, Skeletor.
But...
Sorry.
I'm laughing because I'm remembering the shot of the guy getting his head cleaved in half during the battle scene.
Oh, I know!
I looked away right then, and I was so glad I did.
You were very lucky.
It just came out of nowhere.
That was some brain dead level. Like, holy.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in UHF with Conan the Librarian when he splits that guy.
Yeah.
Except for it was just some guy's head. Like there were a couple of like highlighted moments of violence, but that was particularly like ooh. But I think the most gruesome part is when Machelli reveals that he is the sorcerer, because when he does, he goes through a Werewolves of London style. The howling
was intense.
Transformation.
That was like some John Carpenter.
Yeah.
going on there.
Horror movie.
Some doppelganger.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like horror movie transformation.
Dude, I kind of like the Sorcerer's hands, though. It kind of reminded me of, like, I don't know, what are the kids into nowadays? What's the skinny guy?
Vaping.
Vaping.
What's
what's the
skinny guy?
Is it Thin Man? Is that what he's called?
Oh yeah. Oh, you're talking about the Slender Man?
Slender Man.
Slender.
He kind of had like Slender Man hands a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
Except he's got the lead press on nails that glow.
Yeah. And then he's trying to hypnotize the princess. But then Cromwell and Talon take the fight down to the caves.
Well, it's funny. She tries to seduce him before he transitions over, and he's like into it. He's like, you've made the right decision.
You're wiser
baby.
than I thought you were.
And then a move she's done before, tries to knee him in the groin
Three times now. It's the third time's the charm, right?
It's just nothing there.
That's when she finds out his true form.
Boom. Like, I'm wearing my metal jockstrap. You can't hurt me.
I lost those a long time ago to magic.
I had to give up a lot. What do you think all that goo was? I was really upset when I woke up. Yeah.
But dude, that fight though between Cromwell and Talon, I just thought that was just the most epic.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That was the most. But I guess I'm jumping ahead though, because then they run into the Sorcerer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's doing his little trick, his Jedi mind trick thing, and like the whole time I'm just like Talon, use your blades, because he's got the sword now, right?
He's got the talent.
He's got the sword.
Cromwell's down there too. He's like, "You're back!" And he's like, he gets all bloody, the eyeballs and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. He did the hand glowy finger trick thing on him.
He did the
and then blood was coming out of his eyes.
From Force Awakens, doing the torture thing.
Oh, Kylo Ren.
Ren is like, if we saw those guys like with blood coming out, that's basically what was going on.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah, it felt like he was fighting a lot of bad guys at once. There was a snake on the the princess.
And Snake was just keeping her warm.
I don't like when they make snakes bad because I like snakes. But anyway, yeah, there was a snake. There was
the 3 obstacle.
The sorcerer guy. There was the evil king guy.
Mm-hmm.
So intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sorcerer is forcing... When Talon shows up, he thinks, oh no, I'm going to take... Well, first he's like, I have no quarrel with you.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm here to kill Cromwell. And the Sorcerer's like, Cromwell's mine. And
yeah.
Like, well, then now I have a quarrel with you. That's literally what he says.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to pop in another joke, but Sorcerer's got him. He can't really do anything. Except...
What a struggle.
If he could just push the button on his sword.
If I could just bring my missile launcher sword up just in time. And there's like blood running through his ears, and he's just like, and his muscles are all well oiled, and he's just like, he brings the sword up and fires off that blade.
Yep. Sorcerer is like, oh no!
My one weakness.
Nobody knows how to kill this guy.
Yeah, you stab him, you throw him off a cliff, you shoot him with a projectile sword. Yeah, there's just no way. Spoiler. The wizard appears to be taken out, and it's all Talon versus Cromwell.
That fight, though.
Yeah, instead of using his awesome sword to just kill the guy, he puts it down. He's like,
fires the other blade off, and he's like, all right,
guess what? We're going to fight in close proximity to each other.
I want to be close to you when you die.
I was so many the great. Why the scene was so amazing though was because you were like, oh, okay, well they're just gonna swing their swords at each other, and he's gonna win. But no, like he fights him back. The blade breaks, but oh look, another sword inside this sword. And then he's fighting him, ting ting ting, and that sword falls apart. Then he's like, nope, guess what? Another blade
on the bottom side.
And then he pops another blade out, and he's like doing the whole time. Your eyes are just like glued to the screen. And you're like, oh my god, where are they gonna get the next sword? Where's the next blade gonna come from? Is it in the boot? Is it in the... Aha! It's in the gauntlet! Shake, shake, shake!
His arm.
I could go on.
That was great. I think you summed it up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A switchblade comes out of the top of another sword.
Oh, that was his gauntlet. Oh, okay, good. That's why he's got
like a wristband.
He's got the Wolverine going on.
Yeah. Oh my god. I just didn't. I knew that it was going to be awesome, that fight, because this is where things were building up to. The fight, the final fight between them. But I didn't know that it was going to be like so machismo, like beyond machismo. Like it was just
handled
totally.
And then the sorcerer, is like, "Hey guys, I'm back."
Yeah, that was funny.
He pops up.
Like, oh, we're done. He's like,
yeah, he pops up to scare you for a second. And then he just kills him real quick.
And then I shake him.
Yeah. Stabs him again. Oh, that was the last one. Oh, no.
This movie...
I've actually got 3 hearts. Now the third one's been stabbed.
This movie is so crazy because something like as crazy as this fight scene happens, and then immediately afterwards, he's coming into another room and winking and telling everybody the news. Like, it's just so...
After he's been crucified.
Yeah.
Like, after he spent, all of his energy fighting.
Yeah. He throws the crown down. Because they don't know. They thought everybody died or they were, defeated or whatever. And he goes, guess what? You're the king. And he throws a crown at him. And then...
She's like, so... I guess you'll be wanting your reward. And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Picks her up. Guess what, guys? I got something to do.
Yeah. Then he seriously... He grabs a curtain and swings across the courtyard.
I lost my...
Seriously, is this happening?
Everyone's clapping for him. He's swinging across on this banner.
Oh yeah, it swings across the room.
I kind of expected an Adam Sandler movie moment where Schneider was going to pop out of nowhere and just go, "You can do it."
I wanted him to go low. I wanted him to go low enough to grab another chicken leg.
Oh yeah,
off the table. Ah, you're gonna need my strength.
Throw me that lamb leg.
I could not believe all the events that occurred there at the end. It was amazing.
The way his character was written is so insane. It's so over the top.
Machismo.
Yeah.
But I don't dislike him.
No, it's fun. This is a fun movie.
Yeah.
Entirely super crazy sexist, but definitely something that should be seen.
Yeah.
This is definitely not a pass at all.
Yeah. There's plenty of sexist stuff in movies everywhere. This is worth seeing because it's as crazy as these other action movies that we have been talking about, trying to find Miami Connection and stuff. The stuff you see in this is Miami Connection level ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd almost put it up with Big Trouble in Little China, the energy level of that, and the impression you get of Jack Burton, except, this one is not as good as Big Trouble in Little China comes out to be.
Yeah.
But it's just so much fun. It's such a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's almost little to no dull moments in this film. There are definitely some scenes where you're like, what the hell? I did not see it going that way. But at the same time, sometimes, the particular scene where they had cut that woman's tongue out, I felt was just what? Really? But then at the same time, there are other scenes that were just so elatedly what? Really? Entirely different spectrum.
I forgot that other sudden moment of violence when they get the revenge on the guy who cut out the tongue. You just watch it.
Yeah.
There were so many surprises. We haven't said everything.
It's fun.
And even if we did, you wouldn't remember it all.
No.
You just have to see it to know.
It has to be seen.
Yeah.
And I took notes, so yeah, it's pretty. It's good.
Unless you're a movie watcher who just cannot stand watching something that's cheesy or a fantasy movie, I'm saying otherwise, you should definitely watch this.
Yeah, I think that is pretty good. That's a sum it up.
Yeah.
So, next week, we got a special treat for all those kiddies out there. We turned on the randomizer, fired it up, gave us the year of, I believe it's 1990. Let me check just to make sure here. Are you okay?
That was just the randomizer
Are
noise.
you having a seizure?
No, it was the randomizer noise.
Randomizer seizure? 1990. DuckTales, the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
Ooh, Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
That was a staple in my house. We had the big old plastic case with the VHS in it, and
cool.
All I can remember is being super annoyed by the genie character. So we'll have to see how that goes.
This is one that I actually didn't. I might have seen growing up, but I really don't remember seeing it until recently. Yeah, and I loved it. So I can't.
That's good.
I can't wait to visit it again.
No, I'm sure it's going to be great.
Cool.
Me too.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah. I used to watch it all the time with my Aunt Chris and my sisters. And we didn't have a copy, but my aunt did, and we used to hang out with her a lot. And I can't remember. It was 1990?
1990.
I must have been like 10 or something when they got the video. So, yeah, I have seen that.
Cool.
You know, DuckTales, the TV... I'll save it for the next episode.
Yeah, save your excellent DuckTales material, woo! So, if you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at Outer Space Pod. Send us an email, please, with your suggestions. If you have any comments, anything you want to say to us, email address is pleasedon'tpodcast@gmail.com. Give us a like on Facebook. That's where we put up the new episodes. We also put up photos. We put up videos. Whatever we feel like putting on, just check us out there. If you subscribe to us on iTunes, we'd really, really appreciate it. If you left us a rating, you don't have to put in a review. You could just click on there and then give, however many stars you want. It doesn't even have to be 5 stars. We would like 5 stars, but, be honest with yourself. Any amount of ratings actually does help us with the visibility on the site, and that'll get us more listeners. More listeners is more inspiration, If we get more suggestions for wacky and fun movies, then we're just going to have more fun as time goes on. This is something I haven't asked before. If you have friends who listen to podcasts or people who are interested in science fiction fantasy movies like we are, give them a suggestion of this podcast, Tell your mom, tell your grandma, tell your dentist. Yeah. Why not?
Definitely tell your dentist.
Yeah. That dentist is really lonely. They could use some fun in their life. I know.
This is like when I was reading that book yesterday at Barnes & Noble, and I showed you. It said, never underestimate the power of word of mouth. And it said, tell your... It was like, tell everybody. Tell your grandma,
gynecologist. Tell your gynecologist. Tell your gynecologist.
No, but thanks again for listening.
Yeah, anybody who's listening, thank you.
We really appreciate it. Thank you.
I hope you have fun.
And if anybody wants to hang out with us, I'll cook a snack.
Yeah, we do look for guests.
Yeah.
Come over, you pick the movie, we'll watch one with you.
Yep, absolutely. So until next week, let's talk about this. I know you guys were thinking about what lesson you learned from this movie. So let's Aaron, what are you feeling? What's this lesson that we can learn from The Sword and the Sorcerer?
Next time you raise somebody from their casket thing, just make sure they're not covered in tomato soup.
That's when you know they're bad.
That's when you know.
Mm-hmm. Sarah?
Do you have one?
I can think of one real quick, yeah. I'd say it doesn't matter how much meat you eat, women are going to really like you as long as you've got that 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah, he probably smelled really bad.
Oh, God, I think he was the worst.
Ladies are like, ooh, smooch me, Talon.
You should watch out, ladies, because there were players in every time and in every reality that's ever existed, including fantasy realities. Because this guy, after he finally gets to be with this girl, next day, it's like, let's go off someplace else and find more women.
There's approach King Maladon.
No, seriously.
Next day.
Next day, later.
Let's find more women.
King Lambosha is waiting for us at Maladon, and he's got ladies.
Oh my god.
Have 3 swords will travel.
We'll see you next week, folks. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.